Hey guys, Bree here from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and have we got the perfect Father's Day gift for you? We recently partnered with Melon Premium Headwear, and they are the absolute best hats out there, worth every penny. They are amazing. So this weekend, my husband and I went up on a trip to Sedona, my first trip ever. Gotta say, I can't believe it took me 20 years to get up there, but it was fantastic. And we had just gotten one of these hats. My husband has been searching for the last few months trying to find a really good, durable, waterproof hat to take when we go hiking, kayaking, paddleboarding, all of that, and has been unsuccessful. And I kid you not, I have probably been to at least 5 different stores in 5 different cities with him trying to find the perfect hat. He got to use his melon hat this weekend, and oh my gosh, he loved it. It was fantastic and it looked amazing. We wore it hiking. There was absolutely no issues. All the sweat, oh, it was a little bit hot. They have an amazing fabric that makes it so there's no sweat stains, no sink. They clean up super easy even when they get dirty. Guys can wear them anywhere. They offer 3 different size options to fit everyone's head, multiple shape options to choose from. My personal favorite was the one that we got to try out, the Legend Dad hat. It is fantastic. I'm going to be gifting one to my brother-in-law here for Father's Day. I loved it. And if you can't decide which one to gift, you can always get a gift card. So go get your hat. Use the code GUILT at checkout for 30% off your order. If you're trying to figure out a Father's Day gift, trust me, this is exactly what they want. Go to Melon, that's MELIN.com, and use the code GUILT at checkout for 30% off. Melon rarely offers discounts, so you won't want to miss this opportunity.
This isn't like a gender thing. This is just the reality of a situation in raising kids. Like, it is mentally and emotionally exhausting raising kids, regardless if you're a guy or a girl. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I'm your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by the lovely Bree Tucker.
Why, hello, everybody. How are you?
Bree, my dog didn't like that intro. She started going, she's like, now you're going into your podcast voice, Mom. And that's not okay. That means you're not available to take me outside or give me dog cookies
Mine
at
doesn't
all.
care. He's laying against the door staring. Oh, now he got up and walked over. He's all like, well, if you're going to talk about me, then I'm just
Well, if
gonna.
you're going to talk about me. Yeah, actually, what we're going to talk about today are the frustrating things that women get told in public. Because, oh my goodness, do we have a list? Like, there are so many things you just get asked, that questions that men don't get asked, but women get asked all the time. And it seems to be okay that they're asked those questions. So we're live again in our No Guilt Mom podcast group on Facebook. So if you're not a part of it and you want to be a part of the episode, go on over. We have a link for you right in the show notes. But I'm super excited, Brie, to get started with this episode. So let's get on with the show.
You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast.
So as we're doing this episode, it's funny because Brie and I are like writing more things in the document. Like Brie is just still typing frustrating things that women get told. So, I mean, I think by the end of this episode, we're probably going to have a good top 10 list for you all. Like Brie's on number 8 right now and she's adding it as we speak. So
I'm trying to figure out how to say
I,
this last one as I'm like trying to figure out how to type it.
I have another one to add as well. So the reason that we're doing this, I saw a news article this morning about a woman complaining about frustrating things that are told to her as a mom in the grocery store. And that just got me thinking about like all the things that we're told as women that we kind of have to smile, that we have to endure, that some of us really have canned responses for because they make us so damn uncomfortable. And sometimes they're just inappropriate. And no man gets told this at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're all things that are very gender specific. And sometimes there's such a backhanded compliment. Not a compliment. The person thinks it's a compliment sometimes, or it's an okay thing to say, but just the fact that it's only said to women makes it all the more enraging.
Or a lot of them as this unsolicited advice given to women. They're like, "Oh, you would only be better if, like, you would be perfect if." And it's like those things that really, as Bree was saying before we started recording, butter your biscuits.
Yes, they butter your biscuits, grind your gears, whatever you wanna call it. Like, yeah, I like butter your biscuits. Sugar's your
Butter your
donut.
biscuits.
No, sugar's your
Sugar
donut sounds
Grab that one.
sweet.
Sugar's your donut. It does sound too sweet. It sounds a little sweet for sure.
My
You have
my
donuts.
my pre-snack. Yes, I found some really yummy gluten-free donuts that I get at
Oh my
Sprouts.
gosh. Do you see how my demeanor just changed there? I'm like, "What? There's donuts over there?" I
Yes.
saw you like less than half an hour ago in person and you didn't have donuts
I did
then.
not have donuts then, but I have donuts now because we're doing back-to-back episodes and I'm gonna need something. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I had to
I
explain
have this
where that came from because I feel like saying sugar's your donuts is kind of a weird
sugar shit
statement.
donut. Meanwhile,
But
meanwhile,
meanwhile, Joanne's
I'm
fixing her top.
buttoning up my very low cut jumpsuit that keeps falling down, and I feel like really shows more than I would like to be showing. It's like a little loose on top. I need to fix that. That's a if anyone told me though I should pull up my jumpsuit, oh, we'd have words. If it was one of the frustrating things women are told, you shouldn't show so much
Oh,
skin.
that's another thing. Should we add that one? Like,
Yeah.
I just saw a TikTok today about this woman in Utah that got in trouble because she didn't like a skirt that some other girl was wearing at a restaurant, walked up to her and pulled down her mini skirt. Did you
Oh my
you hear about
gosh.
this?
No.
Yeah, and then she told the girl that she was gonna call CPS if she had to see her buttocks again. And the girl, like the teen, like she was like they said like 19 or something. They were like her skirt was not that short that you could see her butt for starters. And how dare somebody like go in and tell her like no, no. I have a huge issue with that and you know that because like even
Oh yeah, I do too.
yeah, yeah. Well, you do too because it's just like no. No.
Do not
That's
body shame girls. Stop body shaming girls, general
yeah,
public.
and the
I
other
know all of
girls
you probably listening right now probably agree with me and are like, "Yes, stop body shaming
and
girls."
the other girls that were with her were like, "Just don't look at her then, ma'am, if it's bothering you so much." So anyways, that's a big thing. You can look it up on TikTok. I think it's called like Karen of Utah or something like that. That's trending
Karen
right
of oh,
now.
it's always a
But
Karen.
the
Well,
interesting
let's
part is that men don't oh sorry. Yeah, men don't get yelled
men
at
don't get
about
yelled
that. Men
at.
don't get told like your shorts are too short. You're showing too much skin. That is never said to
Sometimes
a
it's
guy.
like pull your pants up. You could see your underwear. I get that. Like old
Or
women
you
go after
well,
guys for that, but that's it. Like I mean, that's it.
or or even just that you shouldn't be wearing, because that was another one too that was on TikTok a little while ago where this girl told people, like, "If you're over a certain age or if you weigh a certain amount, you should not be wearing crop tops." Okay, public service announcement.
Oh, we have so much to go into today.
Yes.
So much to go into.
Yes, so that's yeah, I don't know when you want me to stop talking here
There's a
because
lot.
I could just
You
keep
got
going
it. You
on
got
that
it.
one
Okay, so
alone.
let's start on this list because the first thing
Okay.
comes from Brianny, who commented on our Facebook page. And this is one I actually saw repeated a lot. But number one, you should smile more. Why?
Oh, or the rude comment that comes along with that, "You have resting BF
Resting
face."
bitch face.
Like,
Yes. I think like
there you go. I was trying to be, like,
G-rated.
G-rated.
It's like a female dog. It's an actual term. But so it is
Yeah.
used. It is used.
True,
I mean, I could
true,
refer to my
true,
dog on
but
the
yeah.
couch right now. So, and it would be technically right.
But I feel like that is, like, somebody trying to say that statement in what they think is a nicer way. You should smile more often. In other words, you look bitchy right now while you're not, like, smiling. And I'm making, like, a pissed off face right now for people that are
And
watching,
it's
like
ridiculous, this idea that women have to be nice and pleasing all the time, and their only job is to make other people comfortable. And God forbid, if somebody is like uncomfortable by a woman's emotions, this is the woman's fault. And she needs to go have her emotions in private
elsewhere,
elsewhere.
elsewhere. She needs to not be so, "Oh, that's another one. Oh, let me
No.
add this one to the list too. Hold on, hold
Let's
on,
focus.
hold
Let's focus.
on.
But like it's hard. It's so hard, especially when you're having a bad day and you have to like paste a smile on your face. And I feel like all of these advice to women of, oh, just smile and your whole mood will change along with that smile. And Bree's here batting her eyes right now. But yeah, it's infuriating. And I know that a lot of the moms that we talk to, especially the ones who came to our retreat and in balance, we have this discussion all the time about how you are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to be sad. You are allowed a
Yeah.
whole range of
Mhm.
human emotions. And your only job is not to make the other people around you comfortable. Because I feel that's the messaging we get when we're told you need to smile.
That is true. And we both know, like, we joke about how I can't handle people
Mhm.
crying. Like, it makes me so incredibly uncomfortable because I do feel like that message has been so strongly put into me that, like, you shouldn't be sad. You need to not be sad. You need to be happy. You need to be pleasant, and you need to make everybody feel comfortable all the
That's what
time.
a lot of women have. Okay, number 2. This is
Number 2.
told to celebrities on the red carpet, I notice. This is asked of women if they are out in public alone or if they're out with girlfriends. It is the who's looking after your kids right now? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. First of all, my husband never gets this question asked of him. Ever, ever, ever. In fact,
No.
I've started asking dads, "Who's watching your kids right now?" Just for fun.
And do you ever get like a kinda like a shocked face, like a deer in headlights? Like, what do you mean who's watching my kids?
No, well, it was my friend Shelby. Her and her husband Michael go to conferences together, and I just talking to Michael, and I'm like, "Who's watching the kids right now, Michael?" Because you're not home. 'Cause I mean, it's very common, at least, like, around the friend groups I
Yeah,
have, we're female entrepreneurs, and so, of course, like, we're used to this thing. We go to conferences, our husbands stay home, and they're handling everything when we're gone, and that's just a very, like, forethought statement, you know? It's a very, like
yeah.
it's accepted, so that when I see an actual guy there with his wife, I'm like, "Why aren't you at home?"
Liz in the comments is saying, "I'm teaching my kids to be latchkey kids."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but celebrities get asked this
Wait,
too on the
no.
red carpet. Women do. "Who's watching the kids right now?" And, like, even though yeah, even,
Really?
like, Kristen
I
Bell will get
haven't seen
asked it,
that.
and yet Dax Shepard will not.
Well, okay, so I 100% agree that that is a question that people don't ask men
Mhm.
in general. Like, they don't ask who has the kids, where are the kids? And if you do run into a scenario where you know that one of the parents is a stay-at-home parent, people always look straight to the mom
Exactly.
to be the stay-at-home parent. And, like, you have a friend, you were talking about this before, like, you and Josh, one of your good
Oh,
friends,
yeah,
like
one of our good friends, like, he is the stay-at-home dad, and his wife has a very, very high power position, actually, in our state government, and so it's funny talking to my husband who talks about his conversations with his friend, and I'm purposefully keeping it anonymous, but
yeah.
it's the same exact things I talk about with my husband, but it's coming from a guy, and so I think that's really helpful when I talk to my husband about things. He's like, "Oh, this isn't like a gender thing. This is just the reality of a situation in raising kids. Like it is mentally and emotionally exhausting raising kids. And regardless if you're a guy or a girl, and the stay
Yeah.
at home parent needs a lot of support and needs the support of their spouse as well. And we have some like at least 8 more for you. So find out what they are right after this.
Today's podcast is sponsored by MIDI Health. Ever since turning 40, I've noticed some big changes, guys. But this year, when I turned 44, I gotta tell you, I started dealing with some crazy stuff. Suddenly, I couldn't sleep through the night anymore, waking up around 2 a.m. I started getting night sweats. Then the brain fog came in. It got so bad, I was struggling just to get like my daily work done. And no amount of caffeine was helping it. It was awful. Then my anxiety, it went into hyperdrive. I was dealing with major mood swings, anxiety, feelings of rage, which is not normal for me. And my metabolism just went kaput, done. It felt like my body had just been snatched by somebody else. Everything was weird. I was even having like weird, dry, itchy skin. It was crazy. Then I discovered that all of my symptoms could actually be connected to the hormone changes that happen for perimenopause and menopause. So I started searching for a solution and I found MIDI. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts that are dedicated to providing safe, effective, holistic care that includes both hormonal and non hormonal FDA approved solutions. Seriously, listen to the list of things that they can help you with. They can work with hot flashes, night sweats, trouble sleeping, painful sex, vaginal dryness, libido change, weight and body changes, brain fog, memory lapses, moodiness, anxiety, period problems, hair, skin changes, joint issues. I mean, it's the whole gamut, guys. And the best part is that MIDI care is covered by insurance and there's no memberships or hidden fees. You can enjoy virtual, no rush visits with a clinician from the comfort of your home. Their team is available via messaging, email, and phone to support your questions. And if you want to see somebody in person, they can even refer for in person treatment. So schedule a visit to discuss all of your symptoms that are going on now. You'll come out feeling heard and like you're not going crazy. Stop pushing through it alone. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
This podcast is sponsored by Active Skin Repair, a skin health company helping people heal with natural, non toxic, medical grade ingredients. So, my son, he is a magnet for mosquito bites. He's covered in them every summer. And even though it's pretty early in the year, he's already started getting his first ones. So, we had Active Skin Repair on hand, and I sprayed a little bit on his bite. And he said that he couldn't feel the itching anymore. And it was such a cool thing to try because Active Skin Repair utilizes a molecule called hypochlorous acid. When applied to the skin, the molecule works by mimicking the natural immune response to cleanse, soothe irritation, reduce inflammation, and support healing. Active Skin Repair can be used to treat a wide range of skin issues, including cuts, scrapes, burns, sunburn, rashes, and other types of skin damage. It is also safe and non toxic, making it suitable for use on all skin types, all parts of the body, and even on rosacea, eczema, and acne prone skin. With over 500,000 happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and ingredients so safe and clean that can be used from the youngest member of the family to the oldest, you now have one simple solution for all your family's skin health needs. So visit www.activeskinrepair.com to learn more about Active Skin Repair, and to get 20% off your order, use code NOGUILT. So, we're talking about those things, that frustrating questions women are asked out in public that aren't asked of men. We are now on our number 3 on the list, which, Brie, tell us what it is.
Hey, can you make snacks for the parents' meeting? Like bake some cupcakes or, make some of those delicious cookies. We really like chocolate chip.
Yes. Yes.
And I went a little further into that one.
Well, it's funny because Edith is the one who posted in our group about it. And she's like, my husband is such a better baker than I am. And yet I get asked all the time if I could bake it just from being a woman. And
Yep.
it's so I was really proud last night, actually. My son wanted something sweet. And sometimes we go out to Froyo, sometimes Dairy Queen, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going tonight. Like, if you want something sweet, you can go like bake something. Not thinking he'd do it
Yeah.
because he does not like bacon. He has said his extreme dislike against baking and that he hates doing it. And so he went to my, yeah, he
Really?
hates it. And he's never done it on his own before. He went to my daughter.
Yeah, because he normally does it with his sister.
Yeah, he went to her and she couldn't help because she was studying for finals.
Yep.
Boy took out the stand mixer, took out a cookbook, started making himself snickerdoodle cookies. I was like,
I love it.
where did
Take
my
charge
son go?
there, dude. Take
I loved it.
charge.
I loved it, but it was like this split thing he did. It was like a total 180 from his usual things, because usually he gets really overwhelmed and he doesn't have the confidence. Something that I've been trying to build in him for the past 7 years, probably since he's been 3.
Well, look at that.
And he did it.
Well,
They
look
did
at
it.
that.
And my goal, I would love for him to be the cook of the family, and I could just he's already started, by the way. He is able to put things in the oven from the box. So I'm like, we're getting somewhere, dude. And he's actually able to make a really good mac and cheese, not out of the box,
really good.
Oh, wow. I'm working on my oldest, on my 17-year-old son being able to cook things out of the box. It's not that he can't, it's that he honestly will just look at it and go, "Yeah, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are fine."
Yeah.
Like, he
It's like
just
too
has,
much
like,
effort, too much effort. See,
too much effort,
my
too much
daughter's a
effort.
great baker, but when it comes to, like, actually making food, like meals, like you should, you know, eat and nutrition, stuff like that, no. Like, I can't even get her to make something out of the box. She's like, "Ugh, this is too hard." I'm like, "Did you read the instructions?" "No, it takes too much time." And I'm like, "Okay." But
That sounds like your typical teen answer.
but it's
Yeah,
also, like,
yeah,
2 completely like, you think gender norms, the women bake, the women provide the
yeah,
food,
yeah,
and the
yep,
guys do hell knows what, and
yep. You did
and
it
it's
is. It
flipped, it's
totally
flipped.
is expected,
Yeah.
which actually, like, yeah, that leads I'm gonna jump ahead on one because that leads into what I had listed as, number 5, but it comes right on the heels of that. When I was in college, my college boyfriend's parents told me, "Oh, honey, you don't need a degree, you just need to learn how to cook and keep house better."
No. This was, like,
Yes.
the early
And
2000s too, I mean,
yeah,
this
yeah, I graduated college in '02. So yeah, like it was crazy. And I wasn't like I mean, I was in a sorority, which I love my sorority, go Alpha Gamma Deltas, but there were plenty of girls in there that had like no intention of doing well, little intention of doing a lot more with their degree after finding a husband and like moving on with that. And it's something that nobody would have said to a guy. And the fact too that like his parents said that to me while we were both in college. Oh, he needed a degree, but I didn't
yeah.
because all I had to do was learn how to cook and that wasn't that uncommon. Again, I went to college in rural Missouri. That was not an uncommon thought
I mean,
process.
it's not
Of like,
uncommon at
"Oh, that's
all.
so cute. That's so cute you're getting a degree," but that's not needed. And again, like, it sounds like that's topical right now because of the whole Harrison Buckler I never could say his name right.
Harrison Butker.
Butker.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just anyway, it sounds topical because of that, but I mean, I also am gonna point out that was in Kansas. I went to school in Missouri, like, it's not a far that was not a far jump.
Well, I had a high school friend who said she was going to college to get her MRS degree. And it's really funny because she became a nurse and she's a very so she gets paid a lot as a nurse too. It's a very demanding career. And that's what she went into college with the idea. And so it's just funny to me. And she's very, very talented and smart and like, yeah, hard worker all around. But I mean, it was not uncommon for our generation to still think that. And even my daughter, I mean, I've told you things. She's like, I think I just want to marry a rich baseball player. And I'm like, don't you dare say that. Like, no, you need to be able to support yourself and know how to support yourself. In
Oh,
addition
yeah.
to
Yeah.
also relying in interdependence of people as well, because I don't think we
Yes.
really emphasize that a lot. We do really need other people to survive, and we should be relying on others. That is a total side note. I
Yeah.
just had to put that in there.
Okay, number 4 is a good one that you have on the list. Well, actually, I guess it's number 5 now because I did number 4. So
Oh, yeah. So this was a comment made by Miyuki. And she says, when you have a big family and comments are made about how to prevent that from happening. And I've seen this. I have totally seen this. Like, I have a friend who has 9 kids. We have a friend who has 4 daughters. And like the comments that are made are just totally not okay. Such as like,
yeah.
do you not use birth control? Oh, do you like so many rude
Well,
things.
also out here, like, I think in Arizona, a common thing is like, "Oh, you have 5 kids? Are you Mormon?"
Yes, that's the question that gets asked out here, and it's a
Yeah.
ridiculous thing to be asking women about their personal beliefs, and especially, like, personal sex
Uh,
lives, like, stay out of it.
yeah. 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 That is crazy. And how but I think that that's crazy you're talking about, like, how people actually then move that next step of not only, like, having a comment about their big family, which isn't any of your business, but then also on how to prevent it.
I
Like,
know.
that is
From
that's a bit
our
much.
Facebook
A
group,
bit.
Brittany also adds, or they ask, "Are all the kids yours?" Also rude.
Oh my gosh.
Also
Or
very rude.
even worse, do they all have the same dad?
Ah!
That one also, like, I have not met anybody that has I've never seen anybody ask if all of the kids have the same mom before to a guy,
No.
but I have seen it be asked before to a single mom whether or not her kids all have the same dad.
Yeah, and let's just say, like, it's, looked at in society as horrible for moms to have kids with different dads, while as, like, it's barely glossed over if a dad has kids with separate moms. Nick
Yeah,
Cannon, for instance, with all of his
yeah.
baby mamas. Let's just say that. But again,
Okay,
it's none of
so
people's business. None of people's business. We
yep,
need to stop asking this of women. None of people's business.
yep.
And we have more for you coming up right after this.
Are you overwhelmed by the things that get in the way of you doing what you want to do? Are you looking for ways to simplify life to better align with your values? Do you want to create space in your schedule so you have room for more of the good stuff? Play, joy, relationships, gratitude, and more? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I invite you to check out Edit Your Life, a podcast to help you edit the unnecessary from your life so you have more room to enjoy the awesome. Through episodes with me, Christine Coe, and a range of super smart, compassionate, and thoughtful guests, you'll come away with big picture insights and practical ways to declutter your home, schedule, and mental space without getting bogged down by perfection. I have always believed that small moments and actions matter tremendously. My goal is to help you find agency and space in your life through doable baby steps that will leave you feeling accomplished instead of overwhelmed. Check out Edit Your Life wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
Hey, are you a parent of a teenager? Are you feeling overwhelmed about how to be what they need while also holding limits and boundaries that keep them safe? Are you tired of conversations that negate how messy this season of parenting is? Well, I've got you. My name is Casey O'Rourke. I am a positive discipline trainer, parent coach, and the host of the Joyful Courage podcast. Every week, I come to you with an interview digging into tough topics with experts I trust and solo shows that go deep into the personal growth and mindset needed to raise teens in a way that grows them into confident, capable young people. I am not afraid of getting real about the intersection of conscious parenting and the teen years, while also bringing in vulnerability, humor, and lightness. I'm walking the path with you and honored to serve. Listen to Joyful Courage on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you consume podcasts.
So we're talking about the frustrating things that women have to deal with to be told that men really don't have to. And this on our list, number 6, I was told this, and I see it being told to a lot of women, but men look at you and they're like, "Oh, you look really tired today." And I'm like, "No, actually, I'm just not wearing makeup today. Thank you so much." But it's like this image that you portray as a woman, and like I have huge allergy eyes. I have dark circles under my eyes, as well as like they're hereditary. A lot of women do it. And the concealer, like you have it too, like the
Yep.
concealer
Yeah,
I
oh,
have
yeah.
on is supposed to be expected just so I don't get that tired comment. Cause that bleh.
Well, I know, right? Like, and it is interesting because, yeah, I don't, other than my husband, I would never think to say that to a male. I
Mhm,
would never have, like, so, like, I'm thinking, and I'm gonna say, like, unfortunately, I am probably part of that problem because I would say that. Like, if you were looking tired, I would probably say to you, "Are you feeling okay? You look a little tired."
mhm.
And I would probably say that to my coworkers too. And I would mean it out of a concerning place,
Yeah.
but you're right. It's 100% being judged on how you look.
Mhm.
And if I had a male coworker, which I have had male coworkers, if they look tired, I would never have thought to say that to
No,
them.
they're not told
Never in a
that.
million years. And you're and yeah, and so I would have the same thing too. Like whenever I would get migraines, people could tell because I would come into work that day. And like you said, it would be the same thing. I didn't put on like maybe my eye makeup because I was having a migraine and that takes far too much focus
Yeah.
when you're having a migraine. So people would be like, "You don't look good today." And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a migraine." Like I almost like that was like my migraine makeup was that it was half of my makeup for the day.
Yeah.
Got half of it done.
But men never
But
get that
that is so
comment.
judgmental.
It is really
No.
judgmental, and it's like, I wonder why they don't get that comment. Maybe because they look like crap every day. I don't know. They do not, they do not,
Oh,
they do not. That is like that
weird.
is
That
my
was a good
anger.
one.
That is my anger coming out of women getting judged by their appearance, and we have to like take so much more effort in the morning. I mean, come on, when you see your husband just get out of bed, shower, and he's ready, and like you have to get out of bed, shower, do something with your hair. Like this is a curling iron in my hair right now and dry shampoo in my hair. And then just a face routine of
Yeah.
putting concealer on and like
Yep.
eyeshadow, and there's eyeliner,
Yep.
and there's mascara, and there's blush, and there's lipstick, so that like all of that.
Oh, well, and on my end, you completely skipped all of my moisturizing that's had to go into double gear
Yes.
lately because my skin is dry as could be.
And we
So it's
live in
like
Arizona,
serum,
so
oil, moisture, eye cream, all of it. Yeah, just so that I don't get told that I look tired. Or there's another one, like I'm going to skip another one on our list or into this next one. Oh, you look older than that. Oh, I thought you were older.
ugh,
Like, did you? Do you really? Did you really think that I was older? You freaking suck.
no,
Like,
wait, let's get into that a
yeah,
little bit. What do you mean? Like people told you that like they don't realize how young you are, or like they thought you were like
yeah,
younger than you are?
no, no. They would be like, oh, you look older. Oh, oh, okay, thank you.
Okay,
Not really. No, I mean, people don't. Okay, so that I have never. And again, maybe I'm just like being like I honestly am trying to reflect. Am I being biased on this? Am I like I'm saying never and it probably isn't a never, but it's really damn close to a never. Like again, I haven't asked a guy how old he is or I don't comment on a guy's age,
no,
but
never.
but people feel free to comment on a woman's
Yeah.
age. I feel like constantly. Like, "Oh, she looks oh, you're how old?" Like, "Oh, she doesn't look good for her age." "Oh, she looks older." Or like maybe if she's lucky, she gets the you look younger like you
But
like
okay, so
some people have a younger
I
face.
do get the I look younger, but I have to say like it screws me in the other direction because then people don't take me seriously. And that really, really gets to me. Like I was just checking out of Walgreens the other day with my daughter, and she's like, "Oh yeah, do you have an ID on you?" And like I can't remember what I was getting. It wasn't alcohol though. I wonder why she needed an ID. I'm not sure. Oh, she wanted to sign me up for a credit card. Besides the point. Which I was like, "No, I'm not getting a credit card right now." But she was going into it. She's like, "Oh, wait, you're how old? No, you look so young. You look so young. I thought," and she points to my daughter, "I thought you guys were sisters. I thought it like biggest you were like maybe late 20s, early 30s." And I'm like, "Dude, can we just stop?" And like we go, like this is what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking that. But what I'm saying is like, "Oh, you're so nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you." And inside I am screaming because I am so sick of it. And then we get outside the car and my daughter's like, "You look so young," and like imitating
And you're like, "Shut up."
a
Yeah.
teenager. But it like it doesn't help us in any way because either we are young and naive or we are like old crones, which I am. I am an old crone.
Oh, that's funny. But bump.
A bum thing
Because of her last name,
is
people.
crone. Anyways.
No, I mean, and Liz makes a comment in our Facebook group, like right now while we're recording. She's like, and that's none of your business. And you're right. It isn't anybody's business
No.
how old you are, but yet it's one of those things that gets said a lot about women, how they look for their age.
Yeah.
And again, not really said to men. I mean, occasionally it is, but nowhere near the degree that it's said about women. So
Yeah.
that
It's
like
funny
gets
because
to me. That butters my biscuits.
I get that from men, and he's like, "Oh, you're not old enough to know this," and I like get right in their face. I'm like, "Sir, I am 42 years old. You be quiet." Like,
I do note, like, okay, so I know a couple times I've said something similar to that to you of like make a comment about me being like slightly older, and I have seen like the flames come out of your eyes of the whole
it
like,
gets waves because that's been my whole life.
and it's funny because yeah, and I'm saying it's funny because like to me like I don't see it that way, but that's why I get pissed if anybody says that I look older because
Yeah.
I've always been told that my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
Like,
you look
yeah,
like you don't look older, I would say. You just look like you have it together. Like you were an adult. That's like what I would say. I probably put my Ray was drinking, and I think it almost came out of her nose with that one.
It is up in my nose, actually. I am the least put together adult in the room 9 times out of 10, but that's okay. I play one on TV. So there you go.
It's how it goes.
That is how that
It's how
goes.
it goes.
All right. All right. All right. On to number 8.
Number
Now,
8.
I added this one in, but don't you agree? Like, you see it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
What do? You don't work?
Yeah. Oh, you don't work? Oh, okay. Like, it would, or it works. Like, somebody says, like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I take care. I take care of my kids. Oh, so you don't work?
Ugh,
Excuse me?
excuse me.
You have no idea what goes into that.
I think this is told to women by other women as well. And I think like we as
Yeah.
women are being pitted against each other in society to be like working mom versus stay at home mom. Even the fact that there are those titles associated with both of them is like prime to put women against each other because we don't really have work at home dad or stay at home dad, although those do exist, but they're not like in society predominantly. They're not like everywhere around. And it's this whole Harrison Butker thing too about how a lot of stay-at-home moms came out and thought that like especially me on my comments I got like yeah the feminists just don't want like women to stay at home and they don't think it's good for women to stay at home and I'm like that's not it at all. It's just about choices because stay-at-home moms
Right.
work just as hard as working moms. We are all giving it everything we have every single day, and we are exhausted and we are just done with it all. And so the fact that like there's these two groups going against each other, it really doesn't need to be that way.
No, not at all. And I think we've been doing better-ish, like, in society of acknowledging that we need to be working together
Mhm.
and not so separate. But I do think that there's, like, definitely that cultural divide, that politically cultural divide that's kind of going on right now that makes it
I think
makes
it's a
it so that
messaging thing. And I almost think like it's a messaging thing by political leaders to polarize it so that they will
it
like
is. Yes,
go
I
and
agree.
vote for them because they uphold family values. And I'm like, guys, these political leaders are making an issue out of something that does not have to be an
Yeah.
issue. Like,
Yeah.
it's not an
Yeah.
issue.
It doesn't need to be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, number 9. This one I know is a personal one
Oh
for you
my
guys,
gosh.
for
I get
your household.
You're so tall. You should play basketball. You don't play basketball? What? I used to get this asked of me all the time. I'm 5'9", and I am like the klutziest person you have ever met. Like, you don't want me near a basketball or on a basketball team. I would trip over my own 2 feet, honestly. And I've always been that way. In fact, my parents were told by a preschool teacher to put me in gymnastics to get me some kind of coordination in my life. I mean, it's bad when the teachers are telling you. Your parents and I still do it. I'm the one who walks into walls. I'm the one who like injures myself doing really stupid stuff. Not like dangerous stuff. More like I just got a huge bruise on my knee because I was doing split squats and I was banging my knee on the floor too hard each time I went down for a split squat because that is my sense of body awareness.
I
That
don't
is what
even know what a
happens to me.
split squat is, but I know that I wouldn't succeed in
It's
them.
like
So
it's a
what would that be?
lunge. But you don't like you
Okay.
keep your feet in place when you're doing the lunge. It's called a split squat. It's isolating each gluteus muscle so that you can work them individually and they suck. They're horrible. Anything that isolates one side of your body, it's a hard exercise. But also, like my daughter's taller than me. I'm pretty sure she's pretty
Yep.
top. She's topping probably 6'1" now, even though she would not want to admit it. But every time somebody meets her, every single time, it's like, you're so tall. That's the first thing they say. And like it's
She's like, I love being defined by my height.
yeah. So we talk about that a lot.
Right.
And I like talk with her about things to prepare herself for it. And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty used to it right now. I just know to expect it whenever somebody comes up to me. And she's like, yeah, I'm tall. And I'm like, yeah, that's all you can really do for it. But like men get commented on their height too, like if they're 6'7" or 6'5" or something extraordinary. And I guess 6'1" is extraordinary, but like it's just so hard. It's so hard. It's like a
Yeah.
physical
You
appearance
know her
thing.
struggle.
Yeah.
You know her struggle, and it's harder when you know the struggle that they're dealing with for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which actually leads into our number 10. And by the way, these were not ranked by the most frustrating or anything. They were just like as they popped into our heads.
Mhm.
So as we were writing everything down, I was like, oh my God, I used to get this one all the time from my ex-husband. But in general, women get it a lot. You ready?
Mhm.
Number 10. Oh, you're being so sensitive.
All the
Oh, quit being
time.
so
All the
sensitive.
time.
Oh, right? Like, seriously. Hands up in podcast world. Who is sick and tired of any time you show any emotion, either being like offended by something somebody said or hurt by something somebody said, which aren't always the same? Hurt and offended aren't always the same thing.
Mhm.
Or just getting like really animated about something. Oh, you're being too whatever, too
Too
sensitive,
sensitive.
too big, too whatever.
And it comes in place of apologies too. Like you say something that bothered you, and the other person, instead of saying, I'm so sorry for saying that, I was being insensitive, they come at you being like, oh, don't be so sensitive. I didn't mean it that way. Like, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is like, it's actually something that's mentioned in the book, Queen Bees and Wannabes by Rosalind Wiseman, looking at teen culture. And teens used to do, they still do this. They use a different term now, but they used to say, like, oh, I was just joking. Like they'd say something offensive and be like, oh, I was just joking. I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? And it kind of goes along those lines of being too sensitive. Like, can't you take a joke?
Yeah. Nope. 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 It's not a joke. Quit trying to gaslight me and act like you weren't trying to be freaking offensive. Like you weren't trying to poke at me, hurt my feelings, decrease my self worth. 100% what you were trying to do with that
Yeah.
comment.
And now
100%.
Gen Z, the phrase that's used as, it's not that deep. Have you heard that yet?
Oh, is it?
It's not that
I
deep.
haven't.
It's not that deep. And that's like,
Maybe because
yeah.
maybe I haven't heard it yet because my daughter knows I would probably like lunge at her if she said
Oh, yeah.
that.
Talk to her about that. Be like, tell me, what
I
is
will.
it's not that deep mean? Because
Hmm.
that's what, like, if you have any concern or anything, and I've
Hmm.
talked to my daughter about this, I like had a concern. She's like, Mom, it's not that
Yeah.
deep. I'm like, let's stop right there and let's talk about this comment right here. Because this is exactly the same as I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? Exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was like, you are reading too much into this. How dare you? And I have no fault in the situation whatsoever. And that's what it's
Exactly.
saying. That's what it's saying. Yes. So we hope you've
So I'm
enjoyed.
curious.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm curious. I would love for people to leave us a review, leave us comments wherever you listen to this podcast. I want to know, what did we miss on this list? What is something that is frustrating to you that has been said to you in public that we did not have on this list?
Mhm.
Or go on our Instagram, share,
Or
we should do a
join
post
our
about this.
podcast Facebook group.
Yes.
You're going to find
Oh my
so many
gosh.
women in there, just like you, ones who are listening right now to us record this live, who we're shouting out on air. I mean, so far in this episode, let's shout out Liz and Suzanne and Brittany. They are all here live.
And Donna.
And Donna.
Donna's here too.
And Christina. And we have more, but those are the ones who are commented. So they're the only ones I can see. So come on over and join. We have tons of fun, and you'll get to hang out with us live when we record our episodes. And until next time, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
When it comes to raising kids, there's so much to consider. Things like, what do we feed them? When do we feed them? How do they sleep? What does it look like to raise kind kids? How does their nervous system work? How do I keep myself calm? What are my triggers? There's so much that comes into play, and we are distilling all of that information for you at Voices of Your Village podcast, where we bring experts in the field of early childhood and education and psychology and across the board so that you don't have to comb the internet for information. You get to show up and hang out and have shame-free, judgment-free conversations and insights into what it looks like to raise kind, empathetic, emotionally intelligent humans. I'm Alyssa Blask Campbell. I have a master's degree in early childhood education. I'm a mom of 2, and I am walking this journey right alongside you doing this work. Come hang out with me at Voices of Your Village, and we can dive into real conversations with actionable tips.